scheduled individual workouts. Simmons is expected to come early to the 76ers shoot-around today to discuss his playing status with organizational leadership, sources tell ESPN. The Sixers play the Nets on ESPN, and the team is still hopeful that Simmons will participate in shoot-around. So it's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Here is Daryl Morey on 97.5 The Fanatic.
This is a very good player. And to give ourselves the best chance to win the title, you need difference makers. You don't need role players. Right now, any sort of trade, which obviously Ben Simmons wants, the best thing we can do is get role players back. That makes no sense. That will give us no better chance to win the title if we were to move Ben Simmons for role players. So people should buckle in. I mean, this is going to go a long time because our only path, my only job is to help us give the best chance to win the title. Ben Simmons is a difference maker, so if we can get him back, he will help us win the title. If we can trade Ben Simmons for a difference maker, we will do it. I think that's best for everyone in this situation.
Wow, what a toxic environment this is going to create. And what Daryl Morey just said was unnecessary bravado. I don't know why you would say that publicly. And let's call it what it is. When he said buckle in, this could be a long 4 years, that's a bluff. That's a bluff. You're not going to do this for 4 years. Joel Embiid is 27 years old. You're telling me you're going to make Joel Embiid go through 4 years of Ben Simmons going in and out on a team until he's 31? That's not going to happen. I just don't understand that in order to get this done, and look, I get it. As a business person, like, I'm going to make a hard stand. You don't have to do that publicly, Key. And now what it does is Ben Simmons is going to come back. From what I heard from my sources, Ben Simmons does want to play, but mentally he can't get over the hump of some of the things that have happened between him, Doc Rivers, Joel Embiid, and company. So he is mentally checked out. They have told them multiple times he is mentally checked out. So right now, this is a battle of egos. And the only person that can fix it, in my opinion, is Doc Rivers, because Doc Rivers is going to have to get to a point where he tells Daryl Morey, if it keeps festering and getting out of control, that I don't want to go through this. I can't go through this anymore. I know you think Ben Simmons coming back can enhance his value, but guys, from everything I've been hearing through camps I've been talking to, you're not going to get the Ben Simmons that you thought you were going to get from last year. You're not going to get a better version of that. That's not going to happen.
That's Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise.
No compromise.
No compromise.
Exactly.
No compromise. When you check out of something, you typically are gone. I've been there mentally before. I put my house on the market at the beginning of the season. Very similar to Ben Simmons putting his house on the market in Jersey. I put my house on the market at the beginning of the season in Tampa Bay. I was checked out. I was already done. Y'all got to move me. I don't care. It doesn't matter. And I think Ben Simmons is at that point. I don't understand, like Jay said, I don't understand management stepping out, talking about it's going to be a long ride, buckle up, 4 years. You're not – I don't even know why you say that. Because you know and I know at some point you have to move on from the distraction. And the distraction is part Ben Simmons and part the organization, because they're continuing to create this environment where now all of a sudden players have got to answer to the mess that you've now put out there when people put microphones in the front of their face. They've got to go to games thinking about Ben Simmons, opposed to trying to figure out the best scenario and situation to get the value for Ben Simmons. Now I understand you don't want to move him for less than what you think the value is. But the longer that you keep stepping out there and getting in front of microphones and talking about what his value should be, the less value you're going to get back in return.
You just devalued him by saying publicly that you're only getting role players for him.
Yes.
Why would you do that? You don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't say anything at all.
You're not getting James Harden.
I want to make a distinction here for a second. I don't even think right now it's about not getting full value for Simmons. What Daryl Morey said is he needs a difference maker. So it may be a lesser player than Simmons, but it can't be just an interchangeable part.
Well,
it
you
needs
said
to be something a little special.
But what's a little special?
So
what's a little special, Jay?
Yeah, that's a good question.
James Harden was
No,
one
that's
special?
very special.
Well, that was
That's
the one
very
that they went
special.
for, right? But
Why would
unfortunately,
the Nets give him up?
unfortunately for Tim Fertitta, him and Daryl Morey, that relationship was a little bit soured with the way Daryl kind of left. And obviously, Tim was like, "I'm not going to give you James Harden. I'm going to make that trade with Brooklyn."
Right.
But I think that sends, because Daryl was very close to James. That was a relationship in which Ben Simmons was like, okay,
Trains left the station.
if that was a deal, he was down for that deal. He was down
Yeah.
to make that one happen. It just didn't go through.
Here's a little special, right? Not just a role player, a Buddy Hield. They're shooters, but then there are guys who are shooters, and it's a little more than just getting, like, he's really, really good at that job, right? Someone who's not just an average starter, but an impact player in some way, even if it's not a superstar. CJ McCullough's always thrown out there, right? Someone
CJ
who-
McCullough, Jay?
Well, that deal that was supposedly on the table, but I heard Portland kind of rejected that. But that was CJ McCollum, Robert Covington, and potentially a draft pick, right? But there were opportunities earlier in the year to make a trade. Daryl Morey decided to say, you know what? Nah, I'm not getting the return on value I want.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of created this
Miscalculation.
rift.
Does Golden
Yes.
State have anything, Jay, that they would take back?
I mean, unless Golden State was willing to give in, James Wiseman, Andrew Wiggins, but I don't think Golden State wants to do that. And my thing is,
No,
let
I'm
me
just
let me ask you though, King.
trying
Let
to
me
see
ask
who
you.
has depth.
You're the GM of another team. I'm the GM of another team. I'm seeing all this happen. Why would I give you extra value? Why would I give you one of my difference makers? I know that eventually
'Cause you have
you're
to match
going
salary, I would say. Maybe if you have to
but
match salary.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna wait to see how this keeps panning out because his value is only going to get worse for you if he's decided that he doesn't want to, that he's not going to go through this.
Maybe
to play
there's
with these
another
guys.
option, by the way. I keep bringing this up. If you expand the deal, even if it's a 3-team deal, and you go, okay, Simmons, we're not going to get but if we include Simmons and Maxey and Thibault and a draft pick, can we actually get a player better than Simmons? So it's not just Simmons for someone else or for a package, but Simmons as part of a nice package for
But those
someone
other-
who's even better.
But those other teams have got to want what you're willing to offer up, because why would they water down their roster
No doubt,
to
but
take
like
the trash that you don't want?
Thibault ain't trash.
You know,
Thibault
but I'm
is
saying
good.
depending on where they land and what teams. Like I'm not giving you what I like because you don't like what you got.
And here's another point that nobody's talking about. Say we go through this for a year. Key, you've been on teams where it's always something else other than what it is about football or basketball. You're telling me if you have to go through this for a year and Joel Embiid is having to answer questions about Ben Simmons on and off
They ain't
nonstop
going
things?
through this for no year.
Well, that's what,
no
but
one thinks that.
if you set that up that way, you're telling me Joel Embiid at the end of this is not going to look at management and say, "What the hell are we doing? Like, whose team is this?"
Meantime, guys, Tom Brady is just hoping he remembers how many downs there are this Sunday. I mean, this is the revenge game, right? Everyone thinks Brady's going to go ballistic on the Bears because of what happened last year. We'll hear from Brady after Key has this from Indeed.
When you have your own business, you basically have to do everything, right? That includes hiring, which can become a second job. That's why there's Indeed, the all-in-one hiring platform that makes it easy to contract, attract, screen, and interview candidates all in one place.